All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Sock versus FoCuS. This game taking place here on Eversong version 1.1. Sock opening up as the purple human player on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Eversong spawning as the red orc on the top left. Nothing too out of the ordinary coming in from the players so far. Altar of Storms and Altar of Kings timing seems to be about spot on, as we are going into a barracks by FoCuS. Now, that does necessarily mean grunts, but is it going to be a Blade Master or Farseer? Difficult to tell. Normally, it's Farseer Headhunters as of late, so we might be looking at a Blade Master grunt and then transitioning into some other heroes later. Coming back around, on the bottom right hand side of the map, we can see barracks timing is normal as well, as we should be going into an Altar of Kings here, and then most likely an Archmage, but Mountain King not out of the realm of possibility. Archmage is going to be chosen here, and it is going to be a Farseer. Warmill was placed a little bit later down, but it is going to be a Farseer with a single grunt, followed by those Headhunters and perhaps eventual Berserkers. Farseer with those spirit wolves, able to get in a decent amount of harassment while also being able to tech fairly easily. How are things going to go down in this matchup? That is the question, as grunts are now getting trained up here. Meanwhile, on the bottom right hand side of the map, clearing out all of these peasants here as footmen now making their way out across the map as well. 2 minute mark is going to be coming upon us, and that is pretty much when the official game begins. 2 minute mark, and suddenly your heroes are out and you can do more with units out on the battlefield instead of just scouting, trying to level up those heroes. Couple of things to note about Eversong. Eversong is a pretty walkway heavy map, and what I mean by that, there is a large number of narrow walkways happening all across the map here, making in for a fair number of choke points. Having too many melee units in a map like this means that means that there may not be a large enough front line to actually be dealing damage. So a combination of frontline and backline units much more necessary than, say, a map that is completely wide open, such as Twisted Meadows. Archmage did pick up a Circlet of Nobility and is now making its way across the map here, going after this giant skeleton warrior creep camp. Farseer may try to double back around through the center here. No, doesn't go through the center here, as this, Frost Armor creep camp is going to slow things down a bit for Sock. Meanwhile, back down to the south side here, Farseer really looking to see where his opponent is perhaps creeping, and does not find them, and instead going to try and clear out his opponent's creep camps. He's already made his way all the way back across here. Might as well try, as we're looking at a couple of Headhunters, or Headhunter and a Grunt, absorbing a bit of damage. Coming back here, Forest Troll Shadow Priest will get cleaned up, as the Archmage is trying to chase after these two units. It's actually buying time for FoCuS to clear out a creep camp with only his hero and those summons. That is incredibly important, being able to clear out of these creep camps, as he definitely wants to deny his opponent experience, but he wants to make sure he's using his time wisely. By venturing that far out across the map, he most likely was expecting that Sock may have been trying to go for some sort of expansion, as the Headhunters are now purposely retreating all the way back. The Voodoo Lounge quickly gets canceled there, and this could be a problem. FoCuS needs to find a way to heal up his units, as the Farseer now looking to retreat all the way back as well. Headhunter now venturing back off to the north. New Voodoo Lounge being placed down in the back here, and Sock may have found the right opportunity to just put pressure on his opponent here. Water Elemental being forced back around here. Archmage now finally being forced to retreat. As the Archmage retreats, we should be looking at Sock perhaps trading up more footmen, getting defend, and then being able to clear out some relatively easy creep camps as well. Nope. We could actually be going for a Panda as that second hero. Meanwhile, Farseer Looking to clear out this Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, and Creep Camp as well. What item is going to be dropped? Maybe, Mantle of Intelligence? Nope, Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3, as the Forest Troll going to end up getting picked apart here. Beastmaster is actually the second hero coming in from Sock, so we're going to have an old school play. Archmage followed up with a Beastmaster against Orc with this peculiar timing. Those Quill Beasts trying to go after all of these buildings here. However, Footmen also do have defend that is going to rack up quite a bit of damage. Headhunters afraid of fighting those Footmen, as the Footmen do have defend and will be able to reflect back quite a bit of damage. These purple or dark purple Quill Bees actually difficult to spot on the minimap, as we're still looking at a bit of engagement here. Burrows are constantly getting repaired. 36/41 supply for FoCuS, as the Tauren Chieftain now joining out on the battle as well. Chain Lightning is only the level 1 variety, really not worth it in terms of mana just quite yet, as we are looking at that Peon retreating all the way to the back here. We may see a little bit of engagement, or those Peons trying to jump inside here in just a moment. FoCuS trying to still continue to defend. Meanwhile, Beastmaster is going after the Farseer here, as the Archmage is also taking a little bit of damage as well. All heroes, well, trying to use their hit points, trying to be effective, as the Tauren Chieftain now makes its way back out onto the battlefield. Quill Beast, well, launching quite a bit of attacks, as well as the Peons are massively repairing here. Meanwhile, that one Footman off to the north is still fighting, still engaging. More Water Elementals trying to finish off this Orc Burrow, but there's simply just too many repairs going down, as the heroes now show up to the party as well. There goes a Stomp, there's a Chain Lightning, and with that Chain Lightning, well, Beastmaster falls at level 1. Sock now being forced to retreat back here. We are getting up some Spirit Lodges to try and perhaps open things up with Purge and take down all of these summoned units. Quill Beast trying to run all the way to the back and hide as well. That Quill Beast can rack up a little bit more damage. Farseer finally shows up to the party, and all of those Peons were low on hit points, as now, well, the Voodoo Lounge finally going to be bringing about some healing salve and some respite for all of these units. Hello, how are you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Bottom right hand side of the map, we are already getting into sorceresses and priest. Archmage looking to clear out this demonic gate here, open things up, perhaps get to level 3 on the Archmage, or level 2 on the Beastmaster. Both Sock's primary heroes actually lower in level than I would have expected them to be on their journey. As the Ogre Magi, Void Walkers, and Ogre Warrior getting cleared up here. Back off to the north side, a Tauren Chieftain does have a Gauntlet of Ogre Strength +3, and now picking up a Pendant, and perhaps it's going to be staying on him, and now trying to get level 2 Stomp would just be that much more powerful, as level 2 Stomp does have that bigger radius. We are looking at a quick scout tower being placed down as well. Not quite sure if that was an ivory tower or not. It does appear to be that way, as the Spirit Wolves are now making their rounds as well. Beastmaster should get to level 2. Archmage should maybe just be a little bit shy of level 3, as I don't believe these hatchlings, Hydra hatchlings, do actually split anymore. Coming back down to the south side here, Sock should be trying to set up a town hall, and the expansion is now getting underway. Footman with defend, reflecting back that damage. Archmage, well, Archmage may be able to get to level 3 if the Beastmaster does purposely walk all the way back, and does do exactly that. Beastmaster giving level 3 to the Archmage just by being heads up aware. Level 2 Water Elementals engaging. Level 2 Tauren Chieftain picking up a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability and Scroll of Healing, as we're going to be looking at some engagements here. Are we going to see some Purge? No Purge. Not a lot of purges as of yet. We do see the Tauren Chieftain is currently slowed. No Scroll of Speed on that Tauren Chieftain. That's actually a bit of a problem, as the Tauren Chieftain tries to shake off that slow once more. There goes a purge onto a summon unit. There is now the bear. 600 hit point bear could be causing a lot of problems. Tauren Chieftain does throw down a stomp, hitting a large number of units. There goes a purge as well, as the water elemental quickly gets taken down. Scroll of the Beast now used by Sock, so the Footmen are going to be able to deal significantly more damage, but it doesn't matter if they're just constantly in defend mode trying to retreat back away, as grunts are now going to get cleaned up as well. 44 supply compared to 43. There goes a grunt. Both sides just trying to go after some easy targets and try to build up a bit of an advantage, as we see another decent sized stomp coming in from FoCuS. No Spellbreakers in that front line yet, so the Tauren Chieftain still has plenty of mana for more of those stomps as well. Footman now looking to retreat back. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 2. We are looking at more damage getting racked up. There's a Chain Lightning bouncing around, finishing off more units again as the Tauren Chieftain still trying to lead the charge here. All right, are we going to see a stomp here? More damage coming back across. There's the stomp. Archmage down to 200 hit points. Does use a scroll of healing and will end up trying to stay alive as a Footman about to get taken down. All right, units getting picked off one at a time here. Tauren Chieftain about to get to level 3. He wants to get to level 3 first before using that stomp again, but I don't believe he's going to be able to do exactly that. But there are plenty of Quill Beasts to try and purge down as well. Tauren Chieftain now looking to retreat back here. Both sides still fighting their way through. Level 3 now on the Tauren Chieftain. Going to try and perhaps engage against this backline position. There's a stomp onto the Beastmaster as the Farseer now down to 55 hit points, being forced to retreat back again. Farseer completely out of mana here. Footman with Defend, reflecting back all of those Headhunter damage, but still not enough to stay alive. An constant exchanging of blows going back and forth. Tauren Chieftain and Farseer now heading back off to the north as well. Respective rounds, both heroes have taken quite a beating, more so for FoCuS's heroes. Meanwhile, the main army of Sok, all of those footmen have now pretty much disappeared, and we are now transitioning into a pure Arcane Sanctum army with Sorceress, Priests, and Spellbreakers. Spellbreakers are going to be significantly more effective against that Tauren Chieftain, and the Tauren Chieftain may even consider trying to retrain into Shockwave to try and, well, have a little bit more range and dealing with all of these Priests and Sorceress in the back line. Sok has gone into low upkeep now. Meanwhile, FoCuS still staying in no upkeep, even though he is, he is on 2 bases too. Hero levels incredibly close together. All right, we're going to see a quick purge onto that Quill Beast there. More damage going to rack up. There goes a stomp there onto that Beastmaster. Spellbreakers obviously can't get stomped. There goes another Water Elemental Kodo Beast wanting to dine and dash. Is going to be able to grab a Spellbreaker. Well, Ensnare opens things up for it to get taken out as the Farseer gets up to level 4, quickly purging down one of those bears. Kodo Beast to counteract those Spellbreakers, frontline units that are easy pickings, even though they have a little bit of range. Tauren Chieftain does not have enough mana, or does have enough mana for a stomp. Hasn't used it just quite yet. Grunt could end up getting taken down. What is going on here? There's a stomp as the Beastmaster does not walk into it and is able to dance around a little bit more. More healing is going to be necessary for FoCuS. FoCuS only has one more healing salve charge. Kodo Beasts are still slowly digesting their meals, as the Beastmaster uses a scroll of healing to try and keep everything alive. Tauren Chieftain now using a potion of invulnerability. Both sides still fighting their way through. That 7 second of invulnerability, how long, well, finally comes to an end. How long is it going to last? As we're looking at those Quill Beasts getting shut down in the back. All right, low hit point Kodo Beast in the back here. Farseer could perhaps try to use some more healing salve onto some of those units. And we're going to see, teleport away. Spellbreakers trying to perhaps get a possible surround as we are looking at healing salve charges going down already. All right, there's one more healing salve, perhaps needing a clarity potion and some more as well. Needs to heal up this Kodo Beast down to 181 hit points. And a couple of other key units as well. All right. Healing salves seem to be in short supply by FoCuS so far. Constantly needs to get those healing. Unlike the Scrolls of Regeneration, one for the entire army, even though it heals less per unit overall. All right. There goes an ensnare here. Oh, what is this? We're going to have a potential flank. All of these easy creep camps dealing with the army as well. And Sok finding a very good opportunity perhaps to punish his opponent there. Purge onto a Quill Beast. That gets quickly taken down as there is a lot of slow being applied across the board. Archmage is at 4. Beastmaster currently sitting at 3. And Tauren Chieftain, however, sitting at 4 with level 2 Endurance Aura. More purging down. And with the introduction of the shamans in this army, this summonable army by Sok just seems to be feeding experience to FoCuS. FoCuS is nearly level 5 now on the Farseer as the Tauren Chieftain doesn't get a good stomp in. All right, Kodo Beast wants to eat another meal. There goes one Kodo Beast. This Kodo Beast, however, not being able to get close enough to its target, still low here. All right, that Kodo Beast taking quite a bit of damage. No Staff of Preservation or anything like that, as the Kodo Beast, well, it's going to end up getting taken down. A couple of spell breakers here. Is this Kodo Beast perhaps going to try and eat some other additional units? No, we see a long line of chasing. Tauren Chieftain unable to catch up to the Beastmaster, and that may have been a problem by FoCuS. FoCuS trying to chase after a hero, not realizing that his army was easily getting destroyed all the way around. All right, one Kodo Beast back out here on the battlefield does not have the Warsong Battle Drums upgrade, as the Tauren Chieftain now continues to try and dive on in. Tauren Chieftain low on mana, unable to get a stomp in. Meanwhile, Beastmaster down to 54 hit points, buying a Scroll of Healing, as the Tauren Chieftain perhaps needs to buy a Scroll of Town Portal just in case things go sideways. Both sides still fighting their way through. Raiders coming back across. We are looking at Shaman still trying to perhaps purge down more of those summons if they do come online. Grunts are getting cleaned up as the Archmage gets up to level 5. So a sudden turnaround here. Archmage getting up to level 5 during this time, as both sides are still fighting their way through. There goes a Raging Bear. Raging Bear should just end up getting purged down very quickly. Scroll of Town Portal right there. Shaman's not having enough mana to actually take down those Raging Bears, but the Beastmaster falls at level 4 with the help of a Chain Lightning. I was going to say that fight was extremely, in favor of Sok, only to see the Scroll of Town Portal save all of the Orc units, and that Beastmaster ends up falling at level 4. Quick resurrection at the tavern, though. Beastmaster can get easily healed back up, and Archmage can easily provide enough mana for the Beastmaster to get more summons if that's actually what, Sok wants to do. So far, though, we've seen a lot of summons just turn into experience for the Orc army, as the Tauren Chieftain now tries to dive on in here. Are we going to see a couple more purges, a little bit more damage back across? There's more damage there. Quillbeast does have medium armor. Water Elemental could easily get taken down here, as we're looking at level 3 Brilliance Aura on the Archmage. Both sides fighting their way through. Here's that little bit of additional range by those Spellbreakers. No front line position here, as the Tauren Chieftain, well, unable to get to that back line spot. Tauren Chieftain, even if he does try to throw down a stomp right now, unless it's next to all of these sorceresses and priests, it's not going to really do that much damage. Kodo Beast, however, have found ways to, well, chomp down on some of those Spellbreakers, as that Chain Lightning bounces across multiple targets. That's level 3 Chain Lightning bouncing across, and suddenly all of the backline position sorceresses and priests were, well, zapped to death. Spellbreakers were the ones that were high on hit points, but because they are spell immune, it never bounced onto them, meaning all of the lower hit point units, the sorceresses and the priests, were cleaned up. Coming back here, Quillbeast trying to focus down onto all of these Kodo Beasts. Kodo Beast could try and dine and dash, or, I guess, have a nice meal, not really dashing if you're staying back at home, as the Tauren Chieftain and the Farseer are looking to retreat back here. Farseer getting very close to level 6. There's a denied Headhunter once more. Meanwhile, down to the south side here, plenty of gold mining, and this gold mine still has about 3.5 minutes left. All right, looking at an engagement. Tauren Chieftain in that frontline spot. Kodo Beast wants to get a meal in, tries to eat something. Is going to be able to eat anything. Grabs a Quillbeast, not necessarily the best target, as that unit could just disappear in the belly before giving experience. Farseer now gets up to level 6, summons level 3 Shadow Wolves, as this Kodo Beast is now caught on the wrong side of the army and now being forced to retreat back. Meanwhile, Shadow Wolves are finding with those critical strikes that those Spellbreakers are fairly easy to try and take out. And without any priests, or without that many priests, the summoning of those wolves are actually quite a scare, since there isn't enough mana to both heal and also dispel magic. Coming back around, more units are retreating back here. Kodo Beast about to finish up another Spellbreaker. More engaging getting underway. Long, non-stop battle throughout this matchup so far, as the Beastmaster still engaging against a wolf here. More priests and sorceresses are joining in on the fight. Meanwhile, Water Elemental going to get purged down there once more. Kodo Beast is going to be able to dine on that Spellbreaker. No, Spellbreaker purposely looking to back away again, as the Tauren Chieftain is in that front line spot. All right, he's going to just grab a giant Water Elemental. I don't know, giant Water Elemental may make that Kodo Beast feel full. but seconds later, well, all of a sudden you're hungry again. Tauren Chieftain coming back around. Quillbee's gonna get shut down there. There is some more Dispel magic trying to clean up those wolves here as the Tauren Chieftain gets up to level 6. FoCuS now at level 6 with the Tauren Chieftain will have access to that reincarnation as the Archmage scrolls of Town Portal away at 22 hit points. Beastmaster gets one last shot onto Shaman right before he gets teleported back home. All right, Sock sitting on a level 5, nearly level 6 Archmage and a level 5 Beastmaster. Meanwhile, FoCuS sitting on a level 6 Farseer with no ultimate ability, level 6 Shadow Wolves, level 6 Chain Lightning, and also a level 6 Tauren Chieftain. With that, it is going to be difficult as the Beastmaster, is he going to retrain his abilities? It looks like he retrained into the Raging Quill Beast there, and now also the Raging Bear. Did he need to retrain? Did he go for level 3 bear perhaps? All right, perhaps he went for level 3 bear and then wanted level 3 Quill Beast instead. Coming back through sorceresses and priests, now making their way off to the north. We're going to be looking at defense at FoCuS's expansion. Quick purge onto that Raging Quill Beast, which is just turning into more and more experience. Tauren Chieftain, full on hit points, and that reincarnation is just going to be so powerful as you see that Chain Lightning continuing to bounce around onto that backline spot. Tauren Chieftain with that level 3 stomp could try and shut things down there. There's another stomp right there. There's another Chain Lightning racking up more and more damage. Another Scroll of Healing trying to keep things alive here as the Kodo Beast are just all, well, eating all of those Spellbreakers. FoCuS now with 2 Spellbreakers in the belly. Chain Lightning going after the Archmage. Archmage ends up falling, and that should be the game. Archmage falling at level 5. No sign of a scroll or mass teleportation to get in and out of those battles any longer as another Water Elemental falls. However, Sock doesn't want to give up just quite yet, continuing this fight here, pushing across the map, even though the Archmage is low on hit points. Now trying to push through with a decent-sized attack here. All right, a little bit of damage. Kodo Beast, is it going to get cleaned up here? No Water Elementals. There's a Purge onto a Raging Bear. There's a Stomp right there. Chain Lightning finding all of those targets in the back. A Scroll of Healing quickly counteracting all of that damage again as the Sorceresses are trying to retreat back again. Farseer now out of mana. Are we going to see those Kodo Beasts getting taken down? There goes a Kodo Beast Archmage now back out here onto the battlefield as the Beastmaster is still trying to line up more attacks against all of these units. All the casters are coming in from behind here as well. 61 supply compared to 47. What is going on as the Raging Bear unable to find that target? One more shot. Spellbreaker comes back out alive again. Spellbreaker still trying to fight their way through Archmage. Well, no sign of mass teleport yet as we see a stomp onto the Beastmaster. Beastmaster is going to use perhaps a potion of invulnerability to try and stay alive. More Quill Beasts getting summoned up as the Shamans are finally low on mana, unable to constantly purge down those units. Archmage does not have mass teleport, went for level 3 Water Elementals instead, so will not be able, well, does need to stick around in this fight. He can't do hit and run tactics, and with this, I believe Sock is going to have to throw in the towel here. FoCuS just has too much with higher hero levels, a stronger army, stunning down both the Archmage and the Beastmaster here. It's only going to be a matter of time as Chain Lightning finds both heroes. All right, Archmage finally using the Scroll of Town Portal, Potion of Invulnerability, going to go ahead and retreat. 29 supply compared to 53. But after all that, Sock has left the game. FoCuS is your winner in this matchup here. Sock just perhaps fed too much experience, and you can see that, well, Wolves were constantly on the south side of the map and cleaning up many of these peasants as well. And by cleaning up those peasants, well, shifting the economic advantage even further in favor of FoCuS. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Yeah, very 20,000 difference there. Major difference in hero level score. Overall unit score was pretty close. 31,000 compared to well, rounding up 31,000 to 31,000. It was the hero score and all of the purging and giving experience to those orc heroes. finally, in the end, FoCuS actually mined a similar amount of gold. You can see, based on the gold lost to upkeep, the totals are very, very close to each other as well. Let me know what you guys thought. Crota, could you please cast some Blood Mage matchups?